Hello, I'm Karen Dinkins, and welcome to All Things Newark. November 5th is almost here. We are at Bella Nail Lounge, and we're talking to some folks here to find out their thoughts on the upcoming election. So stay tuned. So, everybody, just want to do a quick check-in to see how people are feeling about the upcoming election. And do you think America is ready for a Black female president?
Well, my name is Camila Samar Majid, and to answer right away, I think we are absolutely ready for a female Black president. I would say it is about time, long overdue. We can even start from way back with Shirley Chisholm. We were ready then, but I don't think they were ready now. But I think it is critically important that we take that step now.
Take that step now. That's right. We kind of know what the other person is about because we've experienced that before. Maybe we should give, a female a chance.
Well, I would even say it's not even so much of a given a chance. I think she's earned the responsibility. I think that she's overqualified. Matter of fact, I think on the other side of the table, I don't even think they have a worthy person that should go against her. This shouldn't even be an argument or a choice.
Right.
This is the only opportunity that we have.
The only opportunity.
Yes.
We should take advantage of that.
Exactly.
That is for sure. Now, do you think that racism or sexism plays a role in people's voting process?
I think it does. I think it's, I think our population, and even if we step into the race categories, I think there's still this misnomer about whether a woman is qualified to be in that role, right? Now, I think she didn't really have to prove her way, but her serving as vice president already shows that she's capable. She knows policy like the back of her hand. She did it in California. She did it in Capitol Hill. So what is there to prove? She's well aware of the issues that are important to every person, not just the people that look like her. And matter of fact, she represents all of what America is supposed to be about. Coming from a mixed race, family situation, having family members that are from another country, and actually representing it. She is diversity. Straight up. She really, really is.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think she represents the American dream, just like you're saying. She comes from a diverse background. She's well educated. She's definitely ready and prepared. I think that she has tremendous opportunity to show her talent, and I think that we're ready.
Okay. Now, what do you think a Harris presidency would look like?
Well, I think that coming from a middle class background, I think she's really focused on doing things for the middle class. Definitely working on small businesses like we have here, giving opportunities for people to own homes. She's definitely interested in that. So I think it would be a shift from working with people that have a lot of money to kind of working with people that are struggling or need to move up in.
I definitely agree with that. I also think when you look at her education, she went to one of the most revered universities, Howard University, right? Whereas she has been around students from all backgrounds. So she comes from a middle class environment, but she's one generation away from not being middle class. So she gets it.
Right.
And I think that she has taken the time and it's proven that she has the ability to come to the table, understand what the issues are for anybody. It doesn't matter where they are. She's fighting for access. Her position is about access. It's about opening more lanes for education. It's about for all people. It has nothing to do so much so with, oh, I'm just going to do this for the middle class, for the high class. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with class. It's about for all people and enabling access.
To give people a helping hand, to give a kind of leg up, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To make the playing field a little bit more even and give people advantages that they might not necessarily have.
And she's spoken about that. If you think about the debate, well, the one and only debate that they gave, let's say her adversary, her opponent, spoke about some of the things that she was able to stand by in her home state of California. But what she said is that the policies that they want to promote doesn't even make it an equal playing ground for everybody. That's the challenge. So you're leaving out children, you're leaving out immigrants, which I do believe America was founded by immigrants. Hello, somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like their whole position is just warped. It's so one-sided and doesn't hit all the different lanes where everybody has the opportunity to benefit.
Right, right. And that is very important. And I wish more people would embrace what she is trying to do for you, to make your lives better. And I think that is so exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting.
I really do. But now, what do you think the appeal of Donald Trump is? What is that about?
You know what I think with him? So let's remember, he's been known for being on television, right? Which attracts a certain audience, right? And he has promoted and I think opened the doors for, let's say, the lesser attractive, types of people that we want. Like, he's kicked the door open for ignorance to be celebrated. And I think Obama, former President Obama, let me say him correctly, said, since when have we allowed bullying to be acceptable?
Exactly.
These are the things that children today are facing in the classroom, in their neighborhoods.
Yes.
And he is waving the banner for bullying. What?
How do you explain that to kids?
Exactly.
They have to be so
Exactly.
confused.
They are very confused.
Right.
They are very confused. I have a 8-year-old and 10-year-old nephews, and they say, they speak in their own language. They say, Trump is saying it's okay to shout at people. And I said, it's not right. It's not right. And you'd be surprised how many children have that same reaction, if not even more.
Right. Because they have to be confused because your parents are telling you, don't do this, don't do this. And then the president is doing just the
exactly
things
that
the parents are telling them not to do.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I was going to say his appeal, in my opinion, is that it definitely uncovered a lot of latent racism that you're definitely seeing that people are able to connect on. Like this young lady had mentioned, like he's made it, almost like a cool thing to be a bully, or even from a standpoint of allowing that inner voice to now actually come out and speak, to speak those words that weren't spoken before. Now we know, firsthand that there are people that still have these, opinions and also these feelings. I'm locked and loaded with Kamala. There's without any question that she is going to get my vote. She's going to do a better job in terms of healthcare. She's not going to infringe upon women's rights.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to do a better job in terms of crime and not enact bills or laws that infringe upon our people and have open season on our people.
Right.
I can't see how any black man could actually even consider voting for this other guy just based on the fact of what he said it from that standpoint, and also from the taxing standpoint. She's looking to actually tax corporations up to 35%, which is going to help infuse the economy itself.
That's right.
Right.
So this whole notion that she's running and she doesn't have positions, all you got to do is Google and you'll be able to find exactly what she's looking to do. And she was the vice president. So this whole thing about the fact that why can't she do that now? It's because she was the vice president.
Come on now.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
I could go on and on about the whole concept itself, but this is a very crucial election and make sure that you do absolutely get out and vote.
That's right.
You know,
Yes.
we are counting on it.
Yes. Now, that's a perfect segue into my next question, which was, people are saying this is a crucial election. And there's so many things at stake, like democracy
Right.
is at stake. And I don't understand, when did lying become okay? You can't believe anything that he says, but people are very surface, and the Democrats are controlling the weather. How can anybody
Propaganda.
think that's a thing? I mean, and they believe
Yeah.
whatever they're
Yeah.
being told.
Yeah.
It is just, somebody make it make sense, because that doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
He hates who they hate, and they're going to rally behind that.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of all those things. Unfortunately, we still live in a country that manifests those thoughts. That's what it comes down to.
I was looking at TV the other day, and there was this man, white guy. Trump is my guy. He can kill somebody on the steps of the White House, and I will still vote for him.
He said that.
Yes, that came out of his mouth. I don't, maybe it's the appeal because he was on TV that just engenders so much loyalty, blind loyalty. I don't understand that.
See, I was never enamored by him, being from New York, growing up and reading the papers. I was fully aware of, his abrasiveness, his feelings towards black. He's been quoted as calling us actually lazy, his rental practices, and then of course the Central Park Five.
Right.
That alone
Should be enough.
That's enough.
That's
Absolutely.
That should be enough.
That is so true.
And then if you throw in these other, extraneous factors, the dude made fun of a disabled person in the last election. That should have been it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That should have been the last straw. And then the quotes that we've heard about him about women, I don't see how any self-respecting person actually would vote for him.
You see, that's where I think educating voters are important, right? And I think you hit on a couple of things that are important. The everyday person, specifically some of those swing states, are not being educated properly. That's the challenge. When you think about,
not even going to the website.
They're not.
The information.
Let's be fair. We're wedged in between arguably two of the greatest cities in the world, New York City and Philadelphia, right? And we're right here in Newark, right? Another great city. But the average person doesn't get the education that they need, right? So I think the difference maker for us to get people to really cast that right vote is to educate them. When you say, what's important to you? And you say, all right, well, let me show you this bill that will support you in that, right? That's what I think is really missing, specifically the younger folks, that young generation. And then also the thing where Mr. Trump is winning out is that he has capitalized in going into social media where people get the majority of their news through there. So I would say I think that Harris's campaign has been quite smart because they're right on it. You look on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. They have been cornering that and making sure to either counter and get ahead of any of that rhetoric.
Right.
Really and truly.
Right. That is true. I thought it was rather masterful because I'm from Michigan, and for him to be in Detroit talking about,
You can't go to Detroit doing that. I'm gonna tell you that right now because I know a lot of people from Detroit. That's like coming to Newark and trying to speak again. Oh, listen now.
exactly.
Not
But
today.
when they had the Lions game, they had a commercial that was on the Jumbotron that Courtney Vance did the VO for, and it is strong and powerful. And they aired it right there with his clip of talking about look like Detroit. So they're on it like that. So that's very impressive.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. So
Love that.
what are some of the characteristics that you think Kamala Harris has that we need in politics right now? What are some of the things that you think are appealing about her?
No, she is qualified. I mean, she spent a the last 3.5 years as the VP, so she has an up close look at how the government is run. She does have the background in terms of going undergrad at Howard University. So she has diversity from that standpoint. She is, in my opinion, looking out for all people and not just a subset of people from that perspective. And then in some of the things that I have mentioned already in terms of like what she's doing in regards to like healthcare and also crime, and taxes. And I think those put her exactly where we need to be in terms of the country, moving forward. We don't need to be taking a step back and having vision, because words are powerful, and she's not going to say things reckless where, this other guy just recently had made mention of like how Haitians are in Ohio, eating cats. That becomes a detriment to people, when we have somebody who is basically the leader of the free world, making a statement like that, and that puts people in danger. Words are powerful, and we know that, I know that at least we'll have somebody in place that is going to be, very careful and responsible in that position, and not reckless like we've seen in the past.
Right.
So those are my thoughts about her.
But there's like honesty.
Yes.
Honesty. The first word that comes to me is integrity. Because there was once a time when we would look to our political leaders and you would say, I trust them, I believe them. And during Donald Trump's presidency, it lacked transparency, visibility, and most importantly, integrity. That has gone out the door, and it will get even worse. It would get even worse. I mean, we can even see he gave favorable positions to his children, which is plain out nepotism. Hello, somebody. I mean, come on. What we?
Right.
Can you imagine one of us, somebody look like us doing that? Come on now. It wouldn't even be acceptable.
There's a double standard.
There's a double standard.
Everything.
Everything. And I also heard recently on one of the stations, they said, when is his party going to stand up and say, this is incorrect? This ain't got nothing to do with politics.
Right.
It's going against the Constitution.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's unethical.
Right.
It's completely unethical.
Exactly.
But the other thing she has too, and I think you hit on it, is the education. Undoubtedly, she's proven. I think she said even prior to her vice presidency, she was one of the senators and congresswomen that cast the deciding votes on things that affect the majority of American people in all different categories: women's rights, education, healthcare. Why not? She knows it. You can walk up to her today and ask her about a certain bill, and she can probably quote it. You ain't gonna get that from homeboy. You're not going to get that at all. He's probably going to give you this, oh, well, I don't know if it's really that important. Just gloss it over. Where's the education?
Yes.
Like, come on. Come on. Exactly. But remember, this is someone, his gift to start off after he finished college was $1 million.
Yes.
Who we know had that? Okay. She had
Nobody
that?
in this room.
Okay. Everybody in this room.
Nobody.
Hello, where they at? Okay, I'm looking. I mean, they had none of that. And there are, let's say, I'm sure there are some affluent white people who have gotten that, but they've chosen a different path. They haven't been unethical. They haven't been dishonest. They've chosen a path where they're making right decisions. Because even if we were born with that silver or golden school, we're not going to be spewing this racism, blatant racism, just like you said. You're spewing that stuff. Come on.
But you are right. It's entitlement.
There you go.
I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to play by your rules.
Because I'm a white man.
Exactly.
Let's just call it what it is. And I think
Let's
that's the other way that we have to present this. If he's going to come out with the rhetoric, then we have to call it what it is.
Yeah.
We have been, fighting for the right to have equal footing, equity. When he was standing up behind something like this, he had an extra stool. We ain't had that. But now, but we're now on the same playing field. And you still want to come down? So now you're going to pull the racism and unearth all these racists that have been hiding all these years? I say bring them out. Let her win and show you how you run this country.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because she can show you how to run the country and run it well, where everybody benefits, not just the top 1%.
That's right.
Elon Musks and everybody.
Yeah.
Because all of that money, they're buying a position in the cabinet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're buying votes also. They're going to those swing states and telling those people what they want to hear, but they don't deliver. So if you look back at that 2016 election, he went to those swing states. He went and talked to those coal miners, those that look like us and those that did not.
Coal is coming back.
Mhm.
Yes, coal is
Okay.
coming back.
But he made promises to them. And then they actually packaged and said that Obamacare didn't benefit them. They're the number one users of Obamacare. Hello? Okay, we still here, right? Okay, just checking. All right? Listen. So that's what gets back to the education.
Right.
People have to be educated.
Right.
You got to take the time and tell them what it means to them.
It's just going back to that gentleman that said Trump can do whatever he wants. He can kill a person on the stairs of the White House. I'm still going to vote for him. Education. It's like people are just, let's see, like deaf.
They are. They're brainwashed. Actually, I love that word.
Yeah.
They're brainwashed.
Yeah.
That's actually probably most appropriate. They're brainwashed. They are.
And they're radicalized.
Yeah, boy.
And that's a terrible combination.
That's
That
so
is
true.
A terrible combination.
That is so true. Hmm.
But like, what would our lives be like? Because we're giving him carte blanche to go back in. Now he knows already how things are going to work,
Yeah.
what he wants to do, how he can get away with everything because he already set it up like that.
Yeah.
You cannot touch me now. When I go into the White House, I can do whatever I want to. You can't impeach me a third time.
Yeah. He's trying to clear the way. That's why you see the work that Letitia James is doing in New York City is so important, because what she's built up against him is to show that there were improprieties with the corporate the giving. I don't want to say corporate, the giving that he received. And that's why his team, they are fighting for that, because if by chance, and God heaven forbid, he doesn't, right? He will go in there to make sure that he's protected and he's unscathed. So that's the other thing, is like, so people that are in New York City, that's another, people need to be educated about that, because they have packaged that story differently. Oh, this black woman is just against
Right.
me. No. You had improprieties that are illegal,
Right.
and you have to be held accountable just as the next person.
You have to be held accountable. You have to be held accountable. Well, this was a very enlightening conversation, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. And I just want to close because you were great. If you come back over here for a minute.
Come back and join us over here.
Everybody was good. But if you could say it again, if somebody comes up to you and asks you about the election that's coming up, what would you tell them? Because we've all been talking about education, educating the voter. You said it earlier, but that was so powerful. I want to get
Yes.
it at the end.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, this is a very important election. Basically, for me, it comes down to a couple of things. Not every candidate's not going to check every box, but you know, with Kamala, you're going to get somebody who's going to look out for healthcare, right? Specifically, for women,
Mhm.
and you're not going to have, the rights of French farm. She's going to do a really great job in terms of crime. We have this other guy who's talking about he's going to give police officers free range on our people. Do we really want that?
That's right.
We don't
No,
want
we
that.
don't.
And then everybody keeps talking about the economy, right?
Mhm.
She has a tax plan in place where she's looking to tax corporations, so up to 35%. All right, so that's going to help infuse that economy, just kind of moving forward. And we're seeing some of the movement actually, in terms of like groceries and bills starting to slowly come down now. But I think that actually improved. Remember, Trump took over an economy that Obama had.
That's right. And it was thriving. And it was thriving. I know that's right.
Yes.
So let's
Yes.
keep that in mind.
That's right.
And she's underneath that same exact umbrella. Let's not be persuaded or have the wool pulled over our eyes with a con man.
That's right.
Lifetime con man who basically is entitled, who is reckless in the things that they say and do, and is not looking out for your best interests.
Mhm.
All right. So those are my reasons specifically that Kamala's going to get my vote.
Project 2025.
That's the other thing.
Mm,
We didn't talk about that.
mm.
Now,
900 pages of it.
900 pages. And we all know that he's lying when he says that he's not associated with that. Because they got together, when I get in office, day one, I'm going to implement this.
Yep.
They already have training videos
Mhm.
out to people,
Mhm.
teaching them what to do and how to implement.
That
They're
is-
going to get rid of the Department of Education,
Woo!
Department of Treasury.
Mm.
Our lives, as we know it, are going to be radically changed. But that is something that people are not discussing
No.
or talking about that's going to have a major impact on every single person.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So it is imperative that we talk to people and we let them know and we educate them as best we can.
That's right.
The decision is up to them, but if they know the facts, there's only one way.
The undisputable
You
facts.
choose-
That's right. That's right. There's only one way. And I think you said it best. Honesty, integrity,
Yeah,
the taxes, the laws that's going to impact all of us. Yeah. That's right.
absolutely. So now, thank you,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. And we're going to have a positive outcome on November 5th.
That's right.
And thank you for tuning in to All Things Newark, and we'll see you next time.
Take it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.